you doing today? Good, good.
Good morning and welcome to worship. We are glad that you are here. Those of you here in Unity Hall and those of you joining us online, welcome. This community is what it is because of your presence here today. It's our hope that in this worship time, your soul might find something that it is hankering after today. So welcome to this space and welcome to this time. Welcome to All Souls. Where all souls are welcome. I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, Life is the Greatest Gift of All. Here, in spite of all that is going on around this world, we are putting our trust in the power of community. This is the time in our service when we offer peace to one another. I invite folks, if you would, to turn and wave to the online pews. If you're joining us for the first time in the online pews, please say hi in the chat. And if this is your first time joining us here today, I invite you to wave so that we might greet you. Welcome, welcome. Friends, peace be with you. Let's pass the peace. Peace. Peace, love. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh,
thank you for visiting.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Good morning. My name is Lexi Capon, or Alexis Capon, and I'm serving as a liturgist today. Every week we take a moment to acknowledge the Nhantic, Mohegan, Mashantucket Pequot, and Eastern Pequot people as the traditional caretakers of the land on which we worship. We honor and pay respect to the Nhantic, Mohegan, Mashantucket Pequot, and Eastern Pequot ancestors and their lineage who today uphold traditional practices, art, and education. Every week we also light the chalice. It is a symbol of our faith, of community, of peace, of that which binds us together and brings us together. Please join me in the words. Here today, in this place, and with these people, may we listen so that we can hear. May we hear so that we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our ways.
And this morning we light this candle of peace, once more for Gaza and for Israel in these tense times of a temporary ceasefire. May peace be possible. Our worship theme this month is equity. One barrier to equity is poverty, and this morning our story for all ages describes one way that global poverty can be overcome. This story is called One Hen by Katie Smith Milway, illustrated by Eugenie Fernandez.
This is Kojo. He lives in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Kojo quit school when his father died, and now he collects firewood to sell. He and his mother never have enough to eat.
No one has very much money, but each family in the village promises to save a bit of money so that one family can borrow all the savings to buy something important. One day, Kojo's mother receives the loan and buys a cart. There are a few coins left over, and Kojo asks if he can have them to buy something. Kojo has an idea.
Kojo's idea is to buy a hen. He and his mother will eat some of the eggs it lays and sell the rest of them at the market. This is the hen that Kojo buys with the loan he got.
The first week, the hen lays 5 eggs. Kojo and his mom eat 1 each, and Kojo sells the other 3 at the market. The hen lays more eggs, and Kojo's egg money grows. After 2 months, he saves enough money to pay his mother back. In 4 months, he has enough money to buy another hen. After 6 months, he can buy another hen. Kojo is proud of his eggs, and his mom is proud of Kojo. Bit by bit, one small hen is making a big difference.
1 year later, Kojo has a flock of 25 hens. Kojo has to search to find all of those eggs. Kojo continues to sell the eggs and save his egg money. Kojo's mom says, "Your eggs have made us stronger, Kojo. Now, go to school, learn for both of us."
Kojo works hard to catch up with the other kids. He learns a lot about a lot of things, reading and spelling and arithmetic, and lessons that help him care for his chickens, how to use chicken manure and compost to grow vegetables. Kojo wins a scholarship to an agricultural college to learn more about farming. While he's away, his mother cares for the chickens. At college, Kojo's dreams start to take shape, the shape of a farm of his own.
After college, Kojo decides to take on a big risk. He will use all of the money he and his mother have saved to start a real poultry farm. He buys a plot of land and enough wood and wire to build chicken coops, but he needs another loan now to buy 900 chickens. The banker in the town says, "No, you are from a poor family. I can't lend you that money." So Kojo goes to the city, Accra, and waits to see the bank president. The bank president says, "No, I can't lend you that money." Kojo tells him about the little loan he had, and the chicken and the eggs, and how he paid back the loan. And the president says, "Okay, I will lend you the money."
Kojo's hens are all good layers. He takes the eggs to towns nearby. In one town, he meets Lumusi. They fall in love and get married, and Lumusi moves to the farm. They have 5 children, and Kojo's mother comes to live with them too. She will never have to sell firewood again.
Before long, many people are working on Kojo's farm. The workers have families. In all, 120 people depend on the wages from Kojo's farm to buy food, medicine, to pay school fees, to build and repair homes. The workers can even afford livestock of their own. Some families buy a goat or a sheep, and some start with 1 brown hen.
Kojo's farm is now large, and so is the town. One day, a young woman, Adika, goes to see Kojo, holding a small sack of coins. She tells him she has saved her wages, and with just a little more money, she could buy a mechanical grain mill and start a small business helping families turn their grain into flour. "Would it be possible to have a small loan?" she asks. Kojo says yes, but makes a promise that one day she will loan money to another family. Adika agrees, and bit by bit, as one person helps another, the lives of many people in the town improve.
This is the country that grows as businesses like Kojo's and Adika's prosper. As the years pass, Kojo is now a proud grandfather. His grandchildren visit often and help collect the eggs, which are sent all over the country and beyond. When his youngest grandchild asks where an egg will go, Kojo says, "To your future, my child."
This is the way that one young boy named Kojo, with one small loan to buy 1 brown hen, eventually changed the lives of his family, his community, his town, and his country. It all started with a good idea and a small loan that made it come true. It all started with 1 hen. There are many organizations across the world that provide small loans or microcredit to people who want to start or build a business. Often there are opportunities during the holiday season or at year's end to help bring about change, 1 person, 1 family, 1 community at a time.
This ends our story.
A central part of true community is bearing witness to one another's lives, the joys and sorrows, the griefs and celebrations. And these can be communicated in different ways. In the online pews, you may write in the YouTube chat what you would like shared here in worship this morning. And those of you in Unity Hall, you can write in the grey book in the lobby. And everyone can also email belovedcommunity@allsouls.net. And now those in Unity Hall, You are invited to come forward as you're so moved, and if you would like to light a candle of intention. And those at the front, if you would like to move up to the top to light your candles so that the line can flow. So, beloved community, the circle is open. Your joy, your sorrow, all are welcome here. From beloved community at All Souls, from Glenys Ulshak. My last brother-in-law, Bob Wagner, died this week. Healing thoughts for my sister Bernice and their large family. Glenys. From Tony Rose, remembering my friend and fellow officer Jim Spignesi, who was shot and killed by an illegal hunter we were searching for in Scotland, Connecticut 25 years ago. Tony, remembering your friend Jim and you. And from the online pews, from Carol Thompson, her sister and brother-in-law are recovering from COVID, so they missed Thanksgiving. Thinking of them, Carol. From Fran McPhail, joy in being here with our good friends. What a joy that is, Fran. From Bruce, Ellen and I are excited to be traveling to Bangkok, Thailand to spend Christmas and beyond with our daughter, a foreign service officer, and her family. Wonderful. Blessings to you and your family, Bruce and Ellen. And from Marilyn, asking for our prayers and thoughts for her daughter-in-law and family as they struggle with a mental health issue. Prayers and thoughts for you and your family, Marilyn, for your daughter-in-law. Let us hold everything that has been shared as we enter into a communion of prayer and meditation, followed by silence and then Gary's musical meditation. Spirit of life, source of love, we hold close in our hearts the sorrows present, named and unnamed. We acknowledge the weight of grief, disappointment, and suffering. May our love and care comfort and uphold those who need it this day. We hold in our hearts also the joys present. May they reverberate through the week and through life. Thank you for this beloved community. May it continue to work for equity, justice, and sustainability. May we remember what we have done in this hour. May our hearts find contentment and our souls find stillness. Amen.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you kindly. Today's reading is from The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist, The Toxic Myths of Scarcity. Myths and superstitions have power over us only to the extent that we believe them. But when we believe, we live completely under their spell and in that fiction. Scarcity has been passed down as truth with a powerful mythology. When we unpack the mindset of scarcity, we find 3 central myths. 1, there's not enough. There's not enough to go around. Somebody has to be left out. There's not enough food. There's not enough water. There's not enough time. There's not enough money. Once we define our world as deficient, the total of our life energy becomes an expression of an effort to overcome this sense of lack and the fear of losing to others or of being left out. If there's not enough for everyone, then taking care of yourself and your own, even at others' expense, seems unfortunate but unavoidable and somehow valid. The second toxic myth of scarcity is that more is better. It's the logical response. If you fear that there's not enough, but more is better, it drives a competitive culture of accumulation, acquisition, and greed. In truth, the rush for more distances us from experiencing the deeper value of what we acquire or already have. It demands our attention, saps our energy, and erodes our opportunities for fulfillment. It leads us to define ourselves by external achievements. We judge others based on what they have and miss the immeasurable inner gifts they bring to life. All the great spiritual teachings tell us to look inside to find the wholeness that we crave. But the scarcity chase allows no time or psychic space for that kind of introspection. In the pursuit of more, we overlook the fullness and completeness that are already within us, waiting to be discovered. The third toxic myth of scarcity is that's just the way it is. This is probably the myth that has the most grip because you can always make a case for it. We say we feel bad about the inequities in the world, but the problems seem so deeply rooted as to be insurmountable. And we resign ourselves to that's just the way it is, declaring ourselves helpless to change things. In that resignation, we abandon our own human potential and the possibility of contributing to a thriving, equitable, and healthy world.
Scarcity is a powerful barrier to equity. When we feel like there's not enough, or when more is better, or when that's just the way life is, we lose our sense of agency, individually, communally, globally. Like the word equality, the word equity comes from the word for level or even. Equality aims to ensure that everyone gets the same things to enjoy full, healthy lives. Equity, on the other hand, is a little bit different, involves systematically trying to understand and give people, individuals, what they need to enjoy full, healthy lives. And one such social justice concept we heard about in the story, One Hen. And there are various examples of microfinancing and microcredit, one of which is Muhammad Yunus and the Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. And Muhammad Yunus, and together with the Grameen Bank, won the Nobel Prize some years ago for giving out small loans with low interest rates to people who otherwise wouldn't get loans, to many women, in fact. And there's some controversy regarding microloans and microfinance, I understand, and some of you probably know more about that than I do. And some economists say that there's a reason Muhammad Yunus was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace and not the Nobel Prize for Economics. But whatever your opinion, maybe even if microfinancing and microlending is not good for economics as a whole, it has been good for many people living in poverty. I understand there's some controversy about some organizations giving out the loans put really a lot of pressure on people to repay, which has not been good. So microfinancing, like we heard about in One Hen, can aim to make the things a little bit more level and even and work towards equity. And closer to home, there are increasing systemic inequities. And perhaps you heard of one such mention earlier this month in the New York Times, that there has always been a wide gap between the haves and the have-nots, and now that that gap is becoming even wider, such that there is almost a gated community within New York City. Some people are nodding their heads. There were various examples. The one that really stuck in my mind was people paying money to get a reservation at a good restaurant. And so they would pay, the example was given, they would pay $650 to reserve a table for 4 on a Wednesday night at 5 o'clock. And so they're forking out $650 before they've even paid for any food, no food included. And there were so many other examples of having people spend half an hour to iron your shirt, and clubs that have exorbitant sign-up fees and so on. So there's really creating even more a completely unlevel, uneven playing field. From that article, the number one comment, which received 4,000 likes, was this. The commenter said, "Back in the early 90s, one of my classmates at Georgetown asked our professor, a Russian, what struck him in particular about the US. He replied, the existence of so much wealth besides such poverty. And it's only gotten worse since. He said, this nation has become an embarrassment. End of quote. And indeed, it has only gotten worse since. We keep hearing about the gap between rich and poor. You couldn't imagine it would get more, but actually it has been getting more, both globally and around the country, and particularly in Connecticut as well. If we could get beyond those myths of scarcity that Lexi mentioned, that would really begin to address the social justice issues of inequity. Earlier this month, there was a letter in the Day newspaper from a gentleman in Gales Ferry. And he gives us a clue as to how that might be possible. And the letter was headed, "Is there something in the air?" With two religious factions who claim the same God, killing one another, with despots brutally imposing their power, and with political incivility crippling our country, on Halloween night, with my wife away visiting a close friend, I simply wanted to turn off the lights and hide out, or go to the local bar. But feelings of guilt dominated. He says, I went to the closet, fetched the pumpkins, orange lights, and spider webs, bought $20 worth of candy, and set up shop. At 6, the shy costumed toddlers came with their parents in tow, some also in costumes. Around 7, the teenagers began to arrive. To my surprise, I guess he hasn't had much contact. He said, to my surprise, they were all friendly and polite with their trick-or-treat greetings, thank yous, and a happy Halloween as they left. When I presented my candy bowl with a take 2, many said, no one is enough. When I commented on my bowl running low, one teen reached into her pillowcase, grabbed a handful of her stash, and filled my bowl, saying, here, I have a lot. Take some of mine. Happy Halloween. He says, it was better than sitting in the dark alone, and the $20 was less than a potential bar bill. He said, maybe this generation will turn the chaos into civility and a new stability. Here, I have a lot. Take some of mine. Is there something in the air, indeed? When we realize that we are inextricably joined together, that we are joined together with other people, that we are not separate, that we are connected even to neighbors that we have never met before, that is a pathway to equity. Frank Ostaseski, in his wonderful book, The 5 Invitations, says that we all have the same needs for water, for food, for a home, for love, for attention, for affection, to be seen and to be happy. Ostaseski says that when we recognize that, we are bringing alive compassion within and amongst ourselves. Compassion is not just a feeling, but it's a doing, and it becomes real when we recognize and share our full humanity. Compassion is not the same as pity. Pity is putting different people on different levels, but compassion, we bring ourselves to the same level. Brené Brown says pity in not the same as compassion. She says pity involves 4 elements. First of all, that the person who is suffering is inferior, and that pity is a passive, self-focused reaction that doesn't involve providing help, which is what we're talking about. Pity involves a desire to maintain a certain emotional distance. Pity is an avoidance in sharing with the other person's suffering. Compassion does away with all of those things. Zen teacher Norman Fisher says, real compassion, real altruism, isn't self-sacrifice for the benefit of others, arising from some guilt-driven sense that we should be good, should be nice, we should be kind or helpful. Real, true compassion is a profound recognition that self and other are not fundamentally different, only apparently different. This is a solid foundation for social justice and systemic equality. We're going to do a little exercise now called a meta exercise. And I'm going to ask you to bring to mind somebody who you don't know well, maybe you don't know them at all, but somebody you saw in the past week. Maybe it was somebody in front of you or behind you at the checkout. Maybe it was somebody you passed on a walk. But bring that person to mind. And if you like, you can, if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes and keep that person in the window of your mind. This person has a body, heart, and mind just like me. This person worries and gets frightened just like me. This person is trying their best to navigate life just like me. This person is a fellow human being just like me. And now allow some benevolent wishes for well-being to arise. May this person have the strength and support to face the difficulties in life. May this person be free from suffering and its causes. May this person be peaceful and happy. May this person be loved. I don't know how that experience was for you. I look forward to finding out. But this practice of compassion erases any gap in our minds, right, between people we know and people we don't know. We realize that it's all part of an illusion, really, that separation is an illusion, that we're all part of a network of mutuality. Once we have seen ourselves in others, and once we see others in us, it fundamentally transforms the way we live in the world. The answer is yes, there is something in the air, and it's compassion. And compassion is described as being of two types. Frank Ostaszewski calls it universal compassion and everyday compassion. And he says that universal compassion is something we all have innate hardwiring for, that this compassion is a force in the world, is a reality in the world, and that we can tune into that whenever we like. And then the everyday compassion is what it looks like on the ground when we are trying to bring about evenness and level, when we are trying to bring about equity. That's when we are doing and trying. But it's important to remember that it's not all up to us, but there is a source of this universal compassion that is always available to us. It doesn't have to always come from our efforts, but we are the vehicle for that compassion. And universal compassion is nothing without us. Universal compassion needs our hearts and our kind-heartedness and our good minds. Universal compassion needs our arms and our legs and our strong backs. And we are the ways that universal compassion is manifest in the world. This is Brené Brown's definition of compassion. Compassion is the daily practice of recognizing and accepting our shared humanity so that we treat ourselves and others with loving kindness, and we take action in the face of suffering. Taking action in the face of suffering. Yes, there is something in the air. This holiday season, remember that universal compassion is there for us to tap into. Remember the many wonderful organizations that are working to bring about equity. And remember, here, I have a lot. Take some of mine. Happy holidays. Amen. I invite you into a moment of silence.
Thank you, Kat, for that message. Just take a minute myself here. This is the time in the service when we share the extra that we have to help support this community and sustain this community that is home to so many of us. So as we begin the offering, please say the words that are on the screen together. We give to the work of all souls. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we give of ourselves and this our offering.
for all that you have shared. Thank you. We invite you to rise in body and or spirit and join in our closing hymn, Our World is One World. Join our voices in extinguishing the chalice together. Our service has ended, but our service is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. The chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. Those in the online pews, if you would like to place your hand on your heart and stretch your arm out to the community beyond your screen. In Unity Hall, if you would like to put your hands in the air like you do care, reaching out your hands to the wider world beyond these walls. Our world is one world. We are in an inescapable network of mutuality. Tap into that universal compassion and manifest compassion in this world. Go in peace and return in great joy. Amen. I invite you to be seated for the postlude.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the service. If you are new to All Souls and you want to know more about our faith community, please feel free to stop by the welcome table. I'm really sorry, I don't know your name. I'm so sorry. Peggy. Peggy will be there to answer any questions you might have. Just so you know, the greeters were handing them out as they came in. Please order your poinsettias. If you did not get an order form as you were coming in, you'll find it in the weekly e-newsletter, wow, e-blast, in the weekly newsletter, or on our website, or over at the welcome table. You can also ask a greeter or any number of people. The deadline to order is December 10th, so you need to make sure you get those in. We also have our Adopt a Family program has started. The tree is set up with all of the fantastic gift tags on it. Please, we're partnering with the Covenant Shelter, and we are supporting 5 families during this holiday season. There are lots of tags. Please pick a gift tag, purchase and wrap the gift. The labels need to include the name and the room number. So all of that information will be on the gift tag you pick up. Make sure you put all of the necessary pieces on the wrapping. And the dropped gifts are also due no later than December 10th. So December 10th is our big deadline for poinsettias and for the Adopt a Family program. Grocery and store gift cards are also welcome, maximum of a $25 value. Carol Bunting is right here. She will answer any questions you have about this program whatsoever. And then, last but not least on our announcements, next Saturday, December 2nd, from 10 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon is the craft fair. It's back! It's back! I'm so excited. You don't understand. Most of you have no idea why I'm so excited, because I grew up here and I went to it way back when it was in the old building. I've been going to it for years, and then I went and I moved away for 12 years and lived in 2 other states and came back to a pandemic and it wasn't happening. And it's back! We get to go to the craft fair. Don't you all want to come create with me? Let's come create. Creating is the best thing ever. Either way, so it's next Saturday from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. And the really, really important thing for you to know right now is that to make that happen, we need to break down this space. So all of the chairs are going to need to get broken down. Very first step is underneath your chairs, you've got tissue boxes and the little packets with forms and pens and all of that. We're going to wheel in a couple of carts from the other room. All of that stuff needs to come out from under the chairs before we start stacking them. The greeters may or may not have gotten this. I know that other people certainly have. There is a demo of how we're going to need to break down the space. So please help clean up the stuff underneath your chairs. We'll bring in the boxes. We'll get it all together and make sure that this space is ready for us to craft and create on Saturday and have so much fun with Sandy Gieman and Gretchen Franklin. Are you also running that? Woohoo! Sandy and Gretchen will help with the breaking down too, yes? Yeah. Fantastic. Next week, Reverend Carolyn will be preaching. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you everybody in the online pew for joining us. And we'll see y'all next week. Thank you.